Hello Budgie Nation, today's video we are talking about new Budgie behavior. Have you noticed your new Budgie is eating or drinking water?
Choosing and bringing home your first Budgie is an exciting experience. Whether you have already carefully planned and organized an awesome cage for him, or you are winging it and buying it all at once, this is usually not a spontaneous decision. You've probably given considerable thought to what it will be like to welcome a new Budgie into your home. Once you've put the Budgie in his cage, you may notice that he is a completely different bird than he was in the shop, and some of his new behavior can be quite worrisome for you. Your new feathery friend may sit at the bottom of the cage for a day or two without making any sounds. Even though Budgies are not difficult to tame, this process takes time, patience, and a gentle approach. What you should expect will vary depending on the individual Budgie, but most Budgies will be frightened when you bring them home. Expect your Budgie to sit very quietly in its new cage, not moving, not eating, not chirping, and trying to show that it is uncomfortable and afraid. This is completely normal, and most Budgies will behave in this manner, especially if they are young or if you are bringing home a single Budgie. Some of these behaviors may be alarming and concerning in normal circumstances, but when you bring your Budgie home, those are completely normal ways for Budgies to cope. But they should begin to settle in within the next 24 hours. It is important that you enable your Budgie time to adjust to its unfamiliar setting. There are a few tips that you can use to help your Budgie to adjust easier, like making sure your Budgie's cage is against a wall, not in the middle of a room, so they do not have to keep an eye out for dangers and can feel safe against the back corners of their cage. To help them feel more secure, you can also place a towel over the back and top of their cage, leaving the sides and front uncovered. This is especially helpful at night. Try to sit next to their cage, spend more time talking to them. You can even sing to them gently, just so your Budgie can get used to you. As they regain their confidence, they will begin to explore their new home. Things you should try to avoid doing while your Budgie is settling are not trying to attempt to fly your Budgie out of its cage, not touching, patting, or holding your Budgie. Also, try not to make loud noises, listen to loud music, or move quickly around their cage. Budgies are social birds and will not do well in a life of isolation. It takes a little time for them to become a loyal, loving little friend to a patient owner. The new Budgie is not eating or drinking anything. Even up to 3 or 4 days after being introduced into your home, you may believe the Budgie is not eating or drinking anything. This is most likely not the case. He will eat and drink when you're not present because it makes him feel safer. Eating and drinking put him in a vulnerable position to predator attacks, and because he is not completely convinced you are not a threat to him, he will eat and drink when you're gone. If you're really worried, you should check if there are seed holes in the food bowl. It is an obvious sign that he is eating while you're not present. Make sure that their food and water are in reach and your new Budgie can easily see it. It may take longer for you to notice your Budgie drinking rather than eating. It is important to once again remember that moving into a new home is a big change for your new Budgie. They will be exposed to new sights, sounds, and smells, some of which may appear threatening to them at first. Most Budgies will naturally adjust to their new surroundings and begin eating and drinking normally within a few days. During the first 24 to 48 hours, you should pay attention to them, observing how much or if any food they are eating. If your parrot has not begun eating or drinking properly by the 3rd day, you should take them to a veterinarian to make sure there is not some serious problem. Taming a new Budgie can take somewhere between 3 to 4 weeks. Every Budgie is unique and special, and how quickly it can adapt to you and your home is determined by a variety of factors such as its inherent temperament, previous experience with humans, and so on. As we already stated, it might be a quite stressful experience for them, and it will take some time, so they might appear upset or restless during this transitional period. A few simple changes to your budgie's environment and interactions that we mentioned can go a long way towards making your new budgie feel more at ease. You just need a little patience and a gentle approach to your feathered friend. Interact with him shortly a few times per day, but do not overstimulate him in the first few weeks. Your budgie will slowly adapt to you and your home and relax, but it is best to not force him. Even though he may find your touch to be frightening now, he will eventually find your presence to be comforting and calming, but let him do it at his own pace. When your budgie gets to feeling more comfortable with your presence around them, you will notice that they are eating and drinking with you in the room. They fall asleep with you in the room, they play with toys and move around their cage without taking much notice of you. If they are doing some or all of the above things, you are now ready to move on to taming. Socializing with budgies makes them physically and mentally happier and healthier.
So that's it, thank you all for watching, I hope you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and like this video. And see you in my next video.
Watch next, previous video, or budgie room routine. Visit our official webpage for more information and budgie care.